Dave Simpson, take one.
I've always wanted to do that.
There you go.
My name is Dave Simpson. I'm the CEO for the company, and I've been here since the company originated. A normal day in my life is to try to touch base with the managers in the different departments, whether it's purchasing, sales, production, and have a feel for the pulse, to keep an eye on more significant projects and see how they're progressing, make sure we stay on track, and just to be there in case there are any fires that I can't push off on our president. So actually, I had a common acquaintance with Tom Singleton and Pat McKee. I was mowing the yard on a Saturday. I had already made the decision to leave public accounting, and the phone rang. My wife came and got me, and it was Tom Singleton. And he said, mutual acquaintance told me that you might be interested in talking to us here at our company. And I said, well, yeah, I would. And he said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm mowing my yard. And he goes, why don't you come up and see me? I said, right now? He said, sure. He said, well, I just got a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. And I said, perfect, that's exactly what I'm wearing. I remember my first office was about 10 foot square, if that, probably 8 foot square, no windows, tucked inside somebody else's office. And I thought at the time, I thought, oh my, what have I done? You know, but obviously it's turned out quite well. We grew that company to roughly a $30 million company over the next 15 years with about 270 employees. As it were, we sold the company on January 1st of 2002. So Pat and I were occupied with commercial real estate for probably a couple, 3 years. We decided, well, we've got to do something else. Our wives won't let us stay home all the time. So we had a friend who owned a small machine shop in Springfield, and the gentleman who had run that department for him died of cancer rather suddenly. And this gentleman who actually owned the company didn't know much about the machine shop business at all. And we spent perhaps 6 months just kind of looking at things, and we basically came to the conclusion, we'll just buy this from Bob. And so we did. We sat and had a long conversation one day and said, well, we're gonna keep tinkering with this machine shop, or we're gonna do something more grandiose. And we made a decision that we would move into the manufacturing arena, which we knew would require larger facilities, equipment that we didn't have, and personnel that we didn't have. We prayed like it all depended on God, and we worked like it all depended on us. So we were so very fortunate over the course of that next year or so to invite a number of people that we had worked with for years at Precision Stainless to come to work for us at Holloway America. And it's one of the best things that has happened to us because the company is successful because of the people that we have. So at the end of the day, Pat and I just had to make a decision. Okay, are we gonna stay where the company's gonna stay about this size and we're gonna have 25 employees and we'll find someone to manage it and you and I can go do something else? Or are we gonna stay on board for an indefinite period of time and embark on something that we know far better than machining? And that was, vessel manufacturing. That's what we knew the best. And little did we know that that the turn of events would happen as they did, and we'd end up with a company with 170 employees and doing north of $30 million a year in sales. But Pat was a very unique individual. He was 8.5 years older than me, and became like my brother, really. Pat's been was a great friend, and his loss was tragic to us and unexpected. The human element. Sorry, it's still there. But he did invest in us, and he encouraged us, and so at his passing, I recognized that, okay, this is a major point. What are we going to do? You know, are we going to fold up and say, well, Pat was the company and we're just going to go home? Or are we going to do what he would expected us to do? And that's precisely what we did. He put that label on us that we can get it done. We're good for our word. We're not going to tell you we can do something if we're not confident we can do something. We had already surrounded ourselves with terrific people, most of whom are still here or have retired, and so many more in this next generation that are closer to Randy's age than my age. I give, the credit really to the people that are here now that we did precisely what Pat would have expected us to do. And I still to this day think he would be so proud. I think his jaw would drop. You've done what? I can see it in his face. It's been a real blessing to me to have been involved in this really over all these years, but especially these last 7 or 8 years since Pat's passing, to see everybody step up. Very, very, very proud of all the accomplishments, really am.